Two, one. Hello, everybody. What is going on? Welcome to episode 18 of the Out of Pocket podcast. We got Kyle, Matt, and Trevor, the three professional bowlers, coming at you with some conversation about the tour and about bowling the last few weeks. So, how's it going, fellas?
It's going. We are currently in the middle of Oklahoma. It's beautiful. I'm at this great resort. Not bowling right now, but everything else is good.
Yeah, outside of bowling, it's been pretty fun, but bowling's been a little rough, and I'm sure we'll get into that on the show. Kyle, what have you been up to, man?
I've been a professional front desk guy at the bowling alley, just holding it down. Our league finished up the third round of the league this week. We needed half a point, so basically we needed a tie at any point during our match to lock up the round and make the playoffs for the end of the year. So we did that. We ended up marginally winning game one before blowing up games 2 and 3 in the series. So we're good. We are locked in for the playoffs. Get to chill for the next two rounds and bowl for top seed pretty much. And yeah, it's gonna be like June, July. So I got some time to chill.
Professional
Yeah.
league bowler.
Yeah, definitely professional league bowler. I whacked the side pots this last round. I made them look pretty professional.
I mean, you are getting the guaranteed check at the desk, at the front desk, so
That's true.
honestly, I commend that because um, anybody that decides not to bowl the tour and gets an actual job or does whatever they do, I was thinking about it more and more, and I'm like, dude, I actually commend that because you got bills to pay, bro.
You're correct, and that's something that although I have gone through it for quite a few years, I never really like openly talk about whether it's like on the pod or with other people. But yeah, the expenses of bowling just don't always add up if you don't have the proper resources to back it. A lot of people do have the proper resources, so that's cool. Honestly, good on them if they have the opportunity. But plus, for guys like us, we're we're all pretty young right now, so we don't have like families or like wives or kids to go home to. So like this is the perfect time for us to be going out and doing it if we want to take the chance. So there's definitely both sides of the coin there on that argument, in my opinion.
Um, I do want to say, like when I told you I talked to Stu, he actually made a funny comment. He said, "Yo, are you guys gonna run the pod, or are you waiting for Buster's Monday Night League update?" And I was like, "That's pretty funny." And then you talked about the league, and I was like, "That's funny as hell."
They
I
are
mean,
getting the
I'm
Monday
gonna
night
be
update.
completely honest. Matt said Stu's seeing the Matrix on the lane, so
Yeah, shout out Stu. He said, "Look, you guys got to get the pod going again." So here we are doing the pod again, right? Um, but yeah, where do we
And he's
start?
crushing right now.
Yeah, Stu is. I'll pull up the scores. I'll be the score guy.
But he's helping us in producing the pod, telling us like, "Yo, let's get some episodes going." And he's going 500 over. Like, come on, the
yeah,
dude is a legend right now.
literally 500 over.
Yeah,
Mad respect to Stu Williams.
yeah, just 780 the last three. That's pretty good.
Can't even do that on a league shot.
Pretty good.
He's doing it on the
I-
bear pattern. What
Trevor,
the
I
heck?
think you could, man. Don't sell yourself short.
Yeah, it's just been a while.
They're getting them pretty good today.
Yeah, it looks like it's Stu and EJ going at it for the top seed, at least for the round. But they were ahead after both squads as well, correct?
Yeah.
Yeah, it was
After
Stu
one
and the
goal.
Tackets.
No, and I wanted to say something about that. Like Zach Tackett led the A squad,
He did.
and then EJ comes out B squad and jumps him. EJ couldn't even give Zach a day of fame, but it is cool. I think that both of them were like numbers 2 and 3. Like you see the Tangs, you see the Laveries. Now you see the Tackets both near the top. It's kind of cool in my opinion.
Yeah.
Oh yeah, definitely good for the game. I think EJ saw his score before the block and said, "All right, I guess I got a target now." And I believe he needed a double in the 10th the last game to get there, and if that was pretty much lockdown double.
Yeah, I think he was up by about like what 9 or 10.
Yeah, something like that. And then he had 180 pace, 190 pace, something like that, and double to get there. So yeah, he was not losing to Zach, at least for that block, and it looks like not for this block either.
I mean, no doubt EJ saw Zach's number and was like, "Yeah, I'm gonna beat that by like 1 today if I can," just to tilt him.
Yeah, so like, what game are they in right now? It's
They're
showing what
they're
through
going into
five.
game 6. Yeah, through 5 we got. Looks like let's see, Tomas Keiko. How do you say that? Like, what's the actual
I
word?
actually think it is Tomas.
No, I know the Tomas part, but the last
I'd
name
say Keiko.
Keiko.
Um,
He I crossed with him at the PTQ. He missed by a spot, and he was fortunate enough to get a withdraw. And now he's parlaying that into currently 4th place.
Was wasn't that Zach Tackett actually that was first out?
Oh
yes,
Oh,
yeah,
it was,
Tomas was second out.
oh,
You're
two.
right.
There's two withdrawals. Okay. I
Yep.
was
which is
gonna say,
crazy because if they took 12, neither one of them would be in.
yeah.
But they're both in, and they're both in the top 10. So
Yeah.
I mean, that's kind of living on house money. Um, it's funny because like you're kind of mentioning the PTQs. I wanted to talk about the PTQs a little bit because my first year was 2020, where I bowled 3 PTQ events. I bowled Shawnee to start the year. I bowled Jonesboro, and then I bowled the World Series in Vegas, and all 3 of those had PTQs. I think Jonesboro was like 1-8 or something like that. I know me and Zeke, we made it out. Jim Pratt made it out. I think we all bowled together too. But I made the first two, but because of Shawnee, there was like 2 or 3 withdrawals. So me and Russ actually got in out of Shawnee, and then at the World Series as well. I was like first out at the World Series, and there was a withdrawal there that got me in. And I didn't do much. I didn't get any checks or anything, but I did shoot 300 at the World Series. So that's one thing.
1-2.
Yep, 1 and 2 at the Plaza.
and you got to actually bowl all those games and get all that experience.
Exactly.
Big.
But I think personally, and we can talk more about this down the road, is it's a top to bottom. The structure's like all wrong. This PTQ thing gets lumped in with like the regional tour. I feel like a lot of people see who's bowling the PTQs and they think of them as like regional guys that are just like trying the national tour. When in reality, the biggest problem is that there's no direct gateway to the national tour. Like you're either in the exempt field of the top 50 in points, or you just don't bowl. You have to get lucky and bowl your ass off like week in and week out at these qualifiers. When in reality, the regional tour should be used as a stepping stone so you can promote yourself into the national tour. Like they used to do that. They used to give away exempt spots from the regional tour, either to like the high qualifier in the RPI or say the points leader in the region. I'm not sure which it was. It was before my time, but I did read about that. And I just think the regional tour is a very flawed system with the way it works. And I do think it's great to bowl, great for experience, good for a secondary source of income, but with the way it's set up now, it doesn't really have any benefit from the fringe guy's standpoint. Almost the same problem the PTQ has, but just on a different level.
Yeah, it's interesting. Like you could use it as like that middle ground, like the AAA for baseball or whatnot. And I think Michael Davidson said something about that on Ronnie Russell's post. I think he said back in the day, regionals were used to get spots into the national tour, which I didn't know about. I knew they had like
Yeah.
some form of RPI winners tournament or whatever, but
So I'll give a little take on where some of that, I guess, frustration is coming from with the PTQ guys, and I could be wrong about it, but if you think about bowling as a funnel, like any sport, right? If we were to take up pickleball tomorrow, we're nowhere near the end of the funnel in professional pickleball, right? We're one of the 100% of people that play and then slowly go in, right? And then bowling, right? So we take, let's say, I mean, how many league bowlers are there? I feel like Duster would probably know this number.
Like in the country,
Yeah, how many league bowlers exist? Or
I
maybe if either of you know it.
I would guess probably a couple million.
Right. Okay. So let's say a couple million. So we have a couple million league bowlers, and we have to somehow whittle that down to 100 professional bowlers. Well, there's a lot of steps in between, and there's a lot of steep cuts, ironically enough, in that funnel. You take league bowling to local competition, or local tournaments. It's already out of 2 million league bowlers, how many of them have bowled a tournament?
Yeah,
10%?
not a big percentage, I don't think.
Right.
5%? Right? Pretty low. Out of anyone that's bowled a tournament, how many of them have even bowled a regional? Or bowled a scratch?
Or let's say won the tournament that they bowled in.
Yeah.
Not very many.
Right? So you keep funneling down that 2 million to, let's say, a couple 100,000 to a couple thousand that have maybe just bowled a regional, and the ones that are competitive at regionals, then the ones that have wins, and then the ones that are decent enough to exist at PTQs, and the ones that are actually advancing at PTQs. We've whittled down 2 million to maybe 20, right? And then we have our top 50 to top 75 that are professional and do their thing, right? So there's a lot of steep cuts, and with steep cuts come a lot of frustration, as we can tell with the PTQs. I think it's a form of maybe denial, a form of one of the steps of grief, stuff like that. At the end of the day, the system might be a little bit broken. I don't know. I don't make the decisions, but I do know that the dinner bell's ringing. There's a chance for us to be on the national tour, and we're in friggin' Shawnee. So might as well try it, right? Might as well do it. That's my take on it all.
I think
Yeah.
if you want to say something, Trevor, I mean, I kind of have a small response to that.
No, I'll let you go because I don't have much to say. I just want to say that, like, I wasn't realize it until after this event, but I'm actually very grateful that we didn't have to bowl the PTQ at the U.S. Open.
Yeah.
Like for me and Zweig to get in that field automatically, and they did an announcement: top 75 that the players automatically get in now.
Yeah, buddy.
So right now it appears that U.S. Open players, Masters, and
Doubles.
Hillman doubles, we don't have to bowl a PTQ, so we get not free points, but we automatically get into the field to get points for those 4 events. But I was just gonna say, I didn't realize it at the time, but now I'm pretty grateful that I didn't have to bowl that PTQ because I sat there and I watched, and yeah, I don't know. I'm not sure I would have made it out of that U.S. Open PTQ.
I don't know. I feel like it's just like a really tough spot, and again, not us in general, like us three, but a lot of the people that I've seen talk about it, um, seems they're just deflecting they're pointing their fingers in all the wrong directions. You know, like it's not entirely the PBA's fault. It's not entirely like the players committee's fault. Like these are all just decisions that have been made over the last few years. Like you can even say it's not Bolero's fault. Like these are just cumulative decisions that have all been made throughout the years. This is the way it's panning out, and I don't really think anybody that's bowling or that's participating in running the tour wants to have to think about restructuring everything like mid-season, especially after all the work that they put in to get the tour to what it is right now. So it is frustrating. I think if there is any sort of disconnect between the bowlers and the players that are in the main field, it's the main field, the guys that are eating. They, as they talked about, they want one squad. Obviously, they can't do that Shawnee at a 24-lane center, but they want one squad, and they're bowling 8 games of qualifying a day. Sometimes even 2 blocks. So I don't know. It makes sense for them to not want bigger fields. I just wish there was, I'd say, more room because there's way too much up and coming talent that came ready to bowl that's not going to get their chance to prove themselves with the way it's structured right now, and they're going to lose that passion. And once this current generation of the tour ages out, it's going to be like the structure stays the same, it's going to be a very select group, and the few that made it out of the grueling format that it is now. Because you can't compare it to the old TQRs for the exempt tour, because everybody got checks back in the day like that.
Right.
And while the tour is paying out now, you do still have to pay double what your entry was after the PTQ to try and get a check, to try and finish 1-3 against the best in the world, after just having to absolutely lock in and give so much of yourself mentally and physically for 8 games to make sure you're bowling the tournament.
And I think too, like last year when I was making it out of the PTQs, like you said, it was pretty grueling. 8 games, you feel like you have accomplished something, but really you just got into the main field, and then the practice session is right after. So I remember that like last year, and it made me better. But I'd make it out of the PTQ, go grab food, and then come back for the practice session. And even for the practice session, I didn't get as much information as the guys that were coming in fresh. So I feel like I was already drained from the PTQ.
Yeah,
I don't know if that makes
I
sense.
felt that way at the TOC last year. 'Cause that whole PTQ was such a grind. You remember that, Duster? PTQ is impossible. Somehow get through, and then now you got to bowl 24 games, and that's not easy. And shout out to the guys that are getting it done doing that. I mean, we're seeing there's always a couple guys every year that still do it, right? And they're the ones that deserve exemptions. What was I gonna say? I had a whole thing I was gonna go down on this, but no. Long story short, I mean, look, we have an opportunity to get there, and if we get there, we deserve it. And if we don't, you got another shot next week at it. Kind of what it boils down to.
Well, I really think, kind of touching on like Trevor about PTQs last year, and I talk about 2020, the first year that I came out, because I feel like there was a lot more bowlers in the main field, and the PTQ field was realistically a little bit weaker than it is now. I mean, that's star-studded like the PTQ fields this year, even compared to last year. I made it out of all six PTQs I've ever bowled on the PBA National Tour. I'm 6 for 6, never missed a cut if you include the ones that I like backdoored. Never gotten a check. So
Yeah, I do agree. They're harder this year. Well, like they're taking, I feel like less spots. The the talent is more. Like you have Snodgrass, Knowles, Keiko. The talent is higher, and there's just more bowlers in general. 80 in Springfield, 94 in Wichita. So it is harder, but at the same time, shout out to those guys that I just named, taking it out of every PTQ. Snodgrass, Knowles, Keiko, like those guys are bowling really well. Nyers making out of PTQs. But yeah, the competition in the PTQ is much higher than last year. Last year, I felt like it was easy. I was like, shame on me for not making it out of the PTQ. This year, it's like, this is tough. A lot different.
you think there's more dream chasers this year?
Yeah, I feel like there's a new group of people that are coming out that are very good. And at the same time, there's also some bowlers that I feel like didn't have to bowl it last year that are really good that now have to. Because I remember like Nair didn't bowl them last year, I'm pretty sure. But somebody like Wesley Lowe was bowling them.
Right.
So, I mean, I know that's just like a 1-for-1, but I think they're way harder this year. And back to your last point, Duster, I think I have two takes on it. One, I think we should go to bigger centers, go to the 40, 60 lane centers that you can have more people on one squad. But on the flip side of that, I kind of do understand the limited fields because it is super high level of talent. I go watch the squads when I miss the PTQ. It's unbelievable to watch because the talent level is so high. So yeah, you don't want to let in shitters that don't belong. You want it to be an elite field. So I get that side of it, but I do think that if you just raise the max entries from 64 to 74 or to 84 or to 94, I mean, that's what I'm saying, that those next 20 to 30 bowlers that aren't making it out of the PTQs are damn good. So I don't think it's going to water down the main field that much.
Yeah,
Like, there's a lot of talent out here right now.
I agree. I'm pretty against the argument that people make that they're like, yeah, you don't want guys going like 500 under, and there's a very select group of bowlers bowling the PTQ that could probably go 500 under because you still have to have a PBA card to bowl. It's not like they're just letting like anybody bowl.
Yeah, and you can, right? Like Pharoah Williams, the first squad is like minus 180 something, right?
Yeah,
Like it happens. It's a hard pattern.
but
I can go 400 under.
anybody that
Like
knows
so,
Pharaoh knows he's a solid player. You know, like
he's really good.
Pharaoh's a crusher.
yeah,
But
Yeah.
they're hard, man. The lanes are not
Like
easy out
one
here.
of the one of those top 50 can go 400 under or 200 under. I mean, they don't crush every week.
Just because EJ and Stu or whatever averaging 240 on this friggin' pattern does not mean that they're China.
right, absolutely.
Yeah.
Well, it's the environment and the conditions that aren't China. It's not so much the oil pattern. Like that's why these guys can make it look like China is because they're seasoned veterans in the environment, like under these
Yeah,
conditions.
like they're comfortable, they're confident, they're focused.
They understand the oil and the maintenance and the machine and all that.
Yeah. Yeah. And they
But
know who they're
also, like,
following and what their moves are off the people they follow. It's professional. It's the P, right? It's professional. They're good at
they're
what they do.
pushing P for sure.
Push and P.
But like even just last week, like EJ was in last after one squad, right? Minus 100 or so when some people were plus 300. Like it doesn't take a shitter to have a bad block. Like anybody that's good has a bad block. And I get it, you don't want to watch 30 people go 200 under or 400 under. Like if you let me in the field, Zweig, Brent Boho, Ben Sobel, I mean, we're good bowlers. We can make checks. I think they got to let us in.
I mean, that's just it. Same thing. Like you think they would open up more league spots, you know? It kind of. I'm sure it comes down to financial mainly, but I think especially with Bolero being a publicly traded company nowadays, they can potentially generate the revenue to pay a little bit more on tour. But again, it
They
just
do. They do. They dump a ton. Dissect the prize fund sometime and see how much money is
Added.
seriously appears into this prize fund. Yeah. And
Yeah, I saw Barnes posted it. He said adding more entries doesn't. It actually waters down the prize fund because there's like $100,000 added to each of these prize funds.
Correct.
I hope you guys didn't take that as me saying Bolero doesn't put any money into it because that is absolutely not what I was insinuating.
Oh no, of course everybody knows Bolero is funding it right now, basically. But
I just want like I hope in the future they have like a double or triple in like the revenue where they can put that into the tour. Like that's what I
think
want.
they're getting
No doubt they financially fund it. Like that's
they want the petite fields until that happens. They want the very small 50, 60 person fields where they're kind of keeping the money in the same people until they can branch that out. I think that's where they're going with it. So it's a 2 year, 3 year thing. I think some guys, I think some PTQ guys lack the foresight to really see what the long term play is here. Because at the end of the day, I think it's going to be great for everybody. Right now, it isn't. But if
I
we stay the course, it'll be worth it.
I mean, Matt, we've talked about this. Bowling is absolutely booming right now on like a public opinion, like open play recreational standpoint, and a lot of these people are going to be looking to potentially get into competitive bowling. So it's understandable how the PBA can want to make sure that if they're going to invest in this and market it as best they can, that they have the best of the best at pretty much all times to do that. So
Yeah.
Yeah, and I think in the future we should have somebody on the pod and maybe go into more detail about some things. Like I know Zeke wants to come on. I've talked to a few other guys out here. They would enjoy coming on the pod. So But I think basically we wanted to just get on here because we haven't done the pod in a while, and then I think we can get back into some guests and whatnot.
Yeah, absolutely. Man. As I I mentioned before, I've just been manning the front desk, sitting on my thumb pretty much, playing a lot of video games. So I've had plenty of time for not just the pod, but also another project that I'm working on. Um, I'm not going to announce it yet. I've actually talked to quite a few people about it. I think it's going to be $1 million idea, so keep an eye out for it. Should be launching in the next couple weeks. It's going to be like an online YouTube channel, pretty much combined with like Discord. It's like a 2-on-1 thing. So keep your eye out for that. I'll be announcing that in a couple weeks, and that should be fun for me. But for the pod, yeah, I agree. It's been lonely over here. Been missing my boys. We'll see them struggling out on tour. I'm sure they have a lot to say, not just negative, but it's the tour life is sick. So I'd love to hear some of those stories from these guys and just see how it's going. It's been 3 weeks now. U.S. Open, uh, Springfield, Missouri, and then Shawnee. So
Tour life is
Yeah, I
weird. I feel like I'm in this weird little extroverse. I don't know how to what word. It's like this weird little subset of the only thing that matters is like the pulse of the tour right now. It's kind of weird. When you're back home, it's like, all right, like you go on Facebook, you check the standings, and you move on with your day. But like, I almost feel like a beat writer for the PBA.
yeah, no, it's been cool out here. I've gotten to see Zweig more than I ever have. I feel like we've gotten to know each other a little bit more.
We still have yet to gamble this trip, though. I'll see you downstairs in about an hour.
Yeah, I mean, I watched you play some roulette.
Jake and I are playing roulette.
And Oscar was sitting there too.
Yep.
yeah, Oscar loves him some Jacob. They love gambling together.
Yeah,
Yeah,
I've been with
Oscar's funny.
Brent Boho at the blackjack table. Um, but like at the Grand Casino, there's only what? There's only one stretch of tables. I look down and I see like 30 PBA bowlers.
I will say this to the Grand
Degen
Casino.
City.
If there's any representative of the Grand Casino watching this, please install a Pai Gow table. On behalf of all of the bowlers, they all want a Pai Gow table. We don't need 5 Baccarat tables, just one Pai Gow. Thanks.
Dude, you know your connection at Fire Lake's like 20 minutes from, or not Fire Lake, from Grand Casino. It was like literally at the bowling alley. Like I'm pretty sure Pharaoh and I'm not sure if Chelsea still works there. Chelsea and Rick Justice.
I think so.
Yeah, they
I'm pretty
do.
sure they have some connections at the Grand. They can put in a word for you.
Bro, that table will be filled from open to close.
Dude, yeah, you guys are talking about Shawnee, man. Now I have some serious FOMO. I love Shawnee, Oklahoma. I bowled there twice, I want to say. I bowled there once for, as I mentioned, the tour stop. And then I was there for the Southwest Invitational in 2020, the COVID year, when I was bowling regionals in the Southwest region because there's nothing to bowl on the West region. It was sick. I shot 300 on 23 and 24 with the Motive Alpha Jackal. That center's dope. And then, like you were talking about the Grand, that casino's, it's, for being in the middle of nowhere, Oklahoma, it's a pretty sick, like, casino resort they got there.
Yeah, emphasis on middle of nowhere.
I'm aware.
Oh, well, and the wind here has been crazy. It's been like 30, 40 mile an hour winds.
We're probably getting wind from the ocean. It's so flat.
It's probably about 15 degrees also.
It's
No,
about
it's
40,
okay.
40 degrees, 40 mile an hour winds, and um, but it's just it's like it is flat out here. But the thing that I don't like is it just maybe because it's so cold, everything's dead. Like the grass is yellow and brown. I'm
Yeah.
used to green grass. It's kind of depressing.
It is depressing, trust me.
Yeah,
But no, it's been fun out here though, for sure. The bowling alley is very nice. The casino is very nice. Free ice cream at the casino.
Bro, real quick story about the ice cream. So my little clique I've been hanging with, it's all the lefties, right? It's Nair, Runk, Jacob, and I got Cody and Cooley. But I've been kind of hanging out with the lefties, and we go to the ice cream machine, and I'm like, we all just get our ice cream, and then I'm like, wait, there's free beverages too. Take the ice cream, little bit of root beer float. Mine's blown.
Yo, Ben Sobel's been doing that a lot too.
Matt, how stoned were you when you made that decision to put the root beer on the ice cream?
Stone cold sober, Huss.
Faded. No, I
Hey,
respect that. I never.
faded.
I I ate a ton of ice cream when I met Shawnee last couple times. So I don't blame you for that, man. Not at all.
I think the best combo, and I'm actually getting this after the pod, some coffee and the ice cream.
That sounds
That's
wicked, to be honest.
How's it?
That's out hold on, though. That's out of pocket right there.
What?
You gotta just do vanilla ice cream by itself, brother. It's the best kind of ice cream.
I think he's saying you're being extra.
Bro. And I need you to try the coffee with the ice cream before you bash it.
All right, I might try it.
It is so nice.
And a little segue back into bowling. Stu just put up another 240 game.
Yep. Yeah, Stu's running away with this one, isn't he?
So he went 240, 240, 240, 270, 240. That is absurd. And what's even worse, well, I guess we're not live recording it, but what's even worse is that he's not in the chat commenting like normal.
I know. We actually get to have our podcast in peace without these guys terrorizing us.
I know.
I have heard from a couple tour guys that they like the pod. I'll just say that much, though.
That's dope. We appreciate that.
Wow.
Whoever anonymous PBA tour bowler is, we appreciate you.
Oh, and I have a funny something that Zeke said that was funny. Zeke Bate was like, "Yo, Trev, Duster invited me on his podcast." I was like, "Hey, you know I'm a part." I said, "I'm a part of that podcast." He was like, "What? No." I was like, "Yeah."
He probably he's not a listener yet. Keyword yet.
Zeke is a hustler, though. I'll tell you what he did. So we're practicing on Wolf. We're practicing on Wolf at the last stop. And T-Rob, you were with us, right? Yeah, you were bowling.
Yeah, it was you, me, and Zeke.
Yeah,
Yeah,
you were bowling. Zeke was bowling, I was bowling. And it's just practice, right? But we're trying to make it interesting. Trying to make it worth something. Zeke's like, all right, we're going to play a game. You get a point. It's like a skins game, long story short. And you saw the scores on Wolf. They were okay, right? It was gettable. We were on the fresh. 20 bagger. Had to have been.
no lie either. He was throwing some green ball way right. Fast
It had
as
to have
hell.
been a 20 bagger. He
Was-
didn't miss 45 minutes.
Was it the Pride Emerald? Like a solid green?
It was the Pride Empire.
Yeah.
It looked like an IQ Tour Emerald. Fuck, that's cold.
Yeah.
I could see him doing that too.
And mind you, they were
Oh.
like moderately tough.
But he
I
was
sucked you.
he was
We got
hitting
9.
dimes.
Bro, it was just the sickest thing I've ever seen. It was.
So I was getting frustrated at the game because, like, I was at negative or something. He was at 4. I had 0 chance, and I would 2-8-10. He would strike. Zweig would like 3-6-10. And yeah, we had no chance.
we had
He
to shoot
literally
us
threw
there.
a 17 bagger.
17. Yeah, it was. There were a ton in a row there, and they weren't that easy.
No, they weren't the China, but he was like further right than me throwing reactive while I'm throwing urethane.
He motive diffed you guys.
He did. He really
He
did.
was throwing heaters.
He was doing that little spin biscuit trick where he just rolls it, but it's high spin. I don't know. Looked pretty good.
And I will say, he's actually, I talked to him last night or 2 nights ago. He's trying to, he's going to try a few different fits out because he wants to get rid of that tilt. He thinks that tilt is not good. It's not slowing down soon enough.
His ball speed's just too high and doesn't use enough surface.
I told him something about the ball speed too. I said, I think when you move left, you need to slow it down so it can see it in the right way. You could be a little steeper with it. And, I don't know. He said he's just throwing it very good.
He's throwing it good. He's peering every shot, but he's not playing. Like, he's got to throw it slower. They just use so much friggin' oil out here. Like, it's ridiculous.
Yeah, no, it's you do have to throw it slower. And when I say, wait, Trevor, you talking? My bad.
You're good. I was just gonna say, like, Zeke, even when he moves left, he's going still up the lane. If you watch Prather, he's so steep and he goes around the lane. So yeah, I don't know. I just thought of you said Zeke's tilt, and I thought, well, he actually doesn't want that tilt anymore.
Interesting.
Yeah.
Well, I
Alright,
think
Dustin, go ahead, brother.
I think I think that's what makes the tour guys so good and why their ball strike so much is because they there is a ton of oil out on the lane and they use almost all of it to get their ball to store energy, but they're also getting their ball to the part of the lane that hooks as quickly as possible. So that way it uses all its energy in the front, still gonna have the energy to just like continue through the pins, but it's controllable. It doesn't make like a hard angle off the pattern, which is why they use a lot of surface.
Yeah, that was the one thing I took away from the last PTQ. I did not use enough surface, and I did not use enough urethane. That was it. Pretty easy review.
I still haven't figured out the right shapes when I move left. Maybe it's the new balls that I'm throwing. Maybe it's just me not seeing the shape right. But with the urethane, I hit it with a bunch of surface, and it looked really good at the PTQ. I went 230, 2 teen, 2 teen. But then when I got into reactive, it was just not good at all. And I think my balls were a little bit too shiny. So I'm going to play around with surface a little bit more.
Yeah. I talked to Dick Allen mid-block. I was put on the
PTQ
show.
or
What?
during the PTQ?
Yeah, during the PTQ. I was already dead in the water. It was like game 6, game 7. I'm even, and the cut's 150. Like, I was toast. But I'm doing the whole, this thing, right? I'm fried. And Dick's like, having fun? And we start chatting or whatever. And long story short, my takeaway from him was, I'm not a 550 rev rate. I can't pretend like I am. So let's try playing the lanes like my actual rev rate. So stronger balls, more surface. Dick Allen's like, I'd be doing this. I'd be doing this with the hand and all this cool stuff. And go back 5. Go back 5 right after talking to him. Like, yeah, I guess it makes sense from an outsider's perspective, but when you're in the moment, it's kind of hard to see these things. With 3 to a pair, no, it wasn't 3 to a pair there, but you bowl fast, man. These PTQs go by fast.
Well, but especially when you watch the 550 rev rate guys do it, and you're like, well, that looks really good. I guess I have to find a way to try and do that.
Yeah. And then it's just like, you don't do that because you're not 550.
Well, and that's what makes the Dick Allens and the Jason Sterners of the world. Like, I look up to them so much because they're not playing 5th arrow. They're still into, like, 3rd arrow when everybody else is 5th arrow, and they're crushing. I love seeing that because those are the lower rev rate guys. They do it with angle. They do it with touch.
Haugen special.
I mean, Haugen would still be on the 5 board. Those guys are a little bit more.
Haugen's still up 5. Yep.
Yeah,
Savage. That was such a stray at Haugen for no reason.
Right?
Haugen's just minding his day listening to the podcast, and all of a sudden...
To be fair, shout out Haugen. He helped me prep a lot for the season this year, so shout out Haugen. We got a lot of good practices in Arizona.
nice, dude.
I
didn't
would
know you were cool with him like that.
Yeah, Haugen's the man.
I would credit a lot of my success in Arizona to Haugen, because he talked a lot of shit about me and said two-handed bowling should be banned, so I wanted to beat him almost every time I bowled.
Wait, you're saying it shouldn't be banned?
I don't know. I'm still 50-50 on it, to be honest.
It is 50-50. Either it is or won't. It will or won't happen. I did that a couple times unironically to people, and they look at me like I have 2 heads. I'm like, bro, it's
That's
50-50.
so sad, bro. It's such a simple
Every slot
joke,
machine
too.
pull, every slot machine pull is 50-50 in this building. It's either gonna pay or it's not.
Yeah. It's such a simple joke and so easy to understand, but no one finds it as funny as our friends.
I know, bro. It's the funniest thing. It really is. Ugh.
So you're in middle of nowhere, Oklahoma this week, and next week you guys are a little less middle of nowhere, Kansas.
Yep. Yeah.
Wichita.
Going to bet kind of your old stomping ground for the 2 weeks that you were out there.
Yeah, I was a
2 weeks.
fellow. I'm a fellow alumni of Wichita State. That's somebody else we talked about earlier.
Yeah, exactly.
No, it's a pretty
You
nice
got the
little
East
city
Side
though.
Award.
Yeah, exactly. No, it's a pretty nice little city though. There's a lot of things to do, especially nowadays. I'm pretty sure they've grown a lot. It's really funny because I don't remember if we were recording already. I think we were when we talked about pickleball. Like there's a place called Chicken and Pickle in Wichita, and it's literally like 6 or 7 pickleball courts and a sick restaurant. They got all these like life size games and stuff. Like that's
Yo,
what
we're going.
that's my
Yeah,
one.
it sounds like a move.
That's my one recommendation for you guys and any of the tour players that are listening to the pod is Chicken and Pickle in Wichita, and any of the Wichita kids will endorse it. I guarantee it.
Wait, and they have good food there or what?
Yeah, the restaurant's pretty good. They have a full bar and everything. Um, Dude, it's dope. Like, just I recommend it.
I definitely want to go.
You had me at full bar.
You had me at pickleball. I've never played.
Yeah,
Yeah, heads up pickleball. Let's go.
there's definitely pickleball to be had. You guys can probably get some doubles games going. It's the courts are pretty like big, they're roomy, so it's a good time.
We were talking about. I was talking to Joe Grondin last night. I think
But
we're
shout
gonna
out
try
Joe
to.
G, by the way. Shout out Joe G. He's bowling nice. But good.
Oh yeah, bro. Wearing the blue KDs every week. He's crushing it.
Joey Air
No, but
Force
we talked about getting a basketball game together in Wichita. He said we can go into the rec center. He said he's still a student. He's going for his master's.
Bro, Joey G's the go. Tell me I won't fly out next week and go kick it with you guys.
Bro, let's go. Come on.
Hey, we got Russ coming out to our Airbnb.
Shit, bro. Come on. Don't tempt me with a good time.
Yeah, exactly.
Even if I just came out for like a day and a half, it'd be sick. Do some in-person content. I'll film the basketball game while you guys play.
Bro, that would be the funniest thing. The
Pickleball
greatest
tournament, basketball games. Come on.
the greatest bowling pickup game since Barnes played CP3.
Didn't they play like horse or whatever it was?
Yeah, he played him in horse and got stomped. For
Well,
obvious reasons.
Chris used to ball though. Like I'm pretty sure he used to play like not college level, but like
He played high school.
yeah, maybe like high level high school or something. I don't know. Man
Yeah,
of
shout
many
out CP.
talents.
Basketball, mini golf, and bowling.
Yo, and Joe Grondin
Three-star
last night
average.
he was just saying that Ryan Barnes is probably the best bowler basketball player.
Yeah, because Ryan like was playing high school before he started bowling. Like he was gonna go to college and all that.
Yeah, he said he's a baller.
Barnes, he feels like he'd be a 1. Like he's definitely PG.
Yeah.
You
Oh, and
think
speaking
you
of the
think so?
CP3
You think he's running the court? I feel like Little Barnes is more of like a pull up shooter. Like he's definitely a 2.
Maybe. A little too small to be a
I
5.
didn't see any of
Somewhere.
his highlight videos, but he could probably be either one.
Does he have a ball his life video?
Well, I think like Barnes used to share highlight videos from his high school days.
Right.
So I think he's a true baller.
Hey, would you guess what Stu shot his last game? They just posted.
Probably
245.
240.
Oh, 250.
Hey, yo.
Oh, freaking way, bro.
Is he running away from EJ right now?
He's running away from everybody right now.
Holy
He's
Hey, that
cow.
was,
He was
that was
100.
game 7.
Yeah, that was game 7.
Yeah, they have one more. He's gonna lead.
So
He's-
this block,
Yo,
he's...
Matt Ogle. Matt Ogle coming through.
Hey, here comes Jakey as well. Look, here come the lefties.
Yeah.
We got Jakey.
Here
we got
comes the
Nair.
left.
Bro, we really need Simo to bowl a good game here if we want him to make the cut.
Yeah, you're probably gonna need a little bit more.
Wait, so I was wondering that too. They're taking 22. Why is there a red line under 12?
They're not taking 22. They're taking 12, but paying 22.
Oh, really?
Yeah, they're just cutting straight to 12.
Well, yeah, I think Simo needs a 240 or 250.
40, yeah.
No.
Because, like, everybody that's in the numbers already posted, and there's not too many guys from A squad. I mean, we got Dick Allen, Grondin. Chapman's gonna get in for sure. Oh wait, Chapman's bowling now, so never mind. That's B squad. Maldy's gonna get in for sure. This is one of his home centers, pretty much in his region. Um, Doherty bowls really good here. I don't know. It's gonna be
Kevin could get there if the left is decent.
either way. A lot of these guys are gonna need 200 over to get in, and on the night squad, there's no telling if they're gonna be easier or harder.
Here's the thing, too. They haven't seen the lanes in a while, either. They haven't seen the lanes since yesterday morning. They're going to play a little bit different, if not a lot different.
I was gonna say a lot.
So, it's going to be a matter of who gets there quickly, or who makes those adjustments quickly. I mean...
That's crazy, though. Top 12 advance.
Yeah.
I did not know that.
Well, it's kind of down here. Yeah,
I thought they just had the line in the wrong spot.
But agree. Shout out Joey G. My boy's bowling in about 2 hours. He needs probably about 120, 130 over to make the cut. I'm gonna say he does it for sure, but I'm looking forward to it regardless.
he needs... Nah, he's going to need more than that. He needs to get to, like, 370.
You think 370? I mean, they still have to bowl game 16 here.
Exactly.
But he's one of the closer guys. That's what I'm saying. Any of the guys that are like 2 or 3 spots below him are going to need at least 200 over to get in, which on a pattern like this, even though Stu's making it look China, like that's
Yo,
a
it might
damn
be 390.
that's a damn good block for crunch time.
And here's the thing, B squad is just lighting them up today. So if they're easier today for the squad, they might be tougher for the other. Who knows? Squad equity, right?
I was going to say squad discrepancy, Lamau.
Yeah, I don't believe in squad equity. I mean, I do. It definitely happens. It happened to me at the U.S. Open. But I think stuff like pair equity is just as relevant, but not talked about.
Potentially.
Because I watched a pair at Springfield. I think it was Jacob and Nayer's pair went 1,300 over, and the two pairs who left him went 200 over. So, are they that much worse bowlers? I don't think so. They're in the exempt field.
Yeah.
What happened?
Were we talking about it? My bad, Duster, but were we talking about it in Springfield? Like adding up the pluses on the lane?
Yeah.
That one pair was way higher than they were. No, they weren't 1,300. It was like 1,700. It was like plus 400, plus 450, 400, and 350.
Yeah, it's like Dust. It was like our pair at the friggin' non-champs, bro. It was nuts.
Yeah, I mean that's just something that's unfortunately like kind of out of bowling's control now. Like, what can we do about that? Unless every tournament's left goes left, right goes right, which I'm not even against. But come on, are we really gonna get people on board with that?
Yeah, I think people would like that.
Maybe we bring it up then. Maybe it's as easy as that. We'd be like, hey, you want to do this? And everyone's like, yeah, that's actually a good idea, and we do it.
I got a list of things I'd like to bring up, but that's
Another idea
in private.
Yeah, I mean, you know the people to talk to. Go ahead.
You could do 16 games on 16 lanes. Or pairs. Like if it's a 32 lane center, it's 16.
Well, 16 game block?
No, but 16 games of qualifying. I think it's something that Barnes mentioned. If you had 18 pairs in play and you do 3 6-game blocks, you bowl on every pair. If you do 2 8-game blocks, it's 16 games on 16 pairs.
So we're going to limit the main field to 48 now?
It's not even like hitting a pair, though. It's a matter of who you're hitting.
No, I disagree, because topography plays way more of an impact than people give it credit for, so it definitely is hitting a pair.
If I follow Belmo or I follow Thomas Larson, that is going to make a distinct impact on how I'm going to play that next pair.
It does. I agree.
Yeah, but you're going to have known knowledge if you're following Thomas Larson or Belmo. You are not going to have preconceived knowledge on if this pair that you're about to hit's shit, especially if you're a new bowler and it's a center you've never bowled at.
3 and 4.
Where? Shawnee before everywhere.
No, 3 and 4 at Shawnee is gross, bro.
Yeah, I think I bowled Frankie actually at the Southwest Invite on that pair, if I remember correctly, because 1 and 2 was out of play. It was he's not the guy that I would want to bowl on a hard pair. I'll just put it that way.
Oh, unless you're Dylan Taylor.
Yeah, if I'm Dylan Taylor, give me the hardest pair in the building.
I'll take Frankie on all day.
Jeez, man. Stone cold killer, bro.
Yep. What a legend.
So, I guess we got 10 minutes left here for this episode. We can record more if you guys are going to keep having free time, which I hope you aren't. But,
Yeah.
so we'll plug the socials real quick. Be sure to subscribe on YouTube, comment, like, everything on the video. And then we're also on Facebook, Instagram, and Twitter. So follow us there as well. So hopefully we can get some more content out for you guys. And we appreciate everybody listening so far. Thank you.
Yes, sir. And I do want to also say, like, tonight I'm going up to film for my YouTube channel, Trevor Roberts on YouTube. I've been putting out content not every day, but I've been filming most every block, and I'll put up a video that night. So, Trevor Roberts on YouTube, we're up to 5,300 subscribers, and I'm going up tonight to film the 5 p.m. squad. So, I think it starts at 5, right?
Something like that.
Yeah.
Sounds right.
But yeah, we'll see. We'll see who gets in the top 12 tonight.
Yep.
Yeah, it'll be interesting. I think it's gonna be a rev rate. I mean, it's already a pretty rev rate dominated tournament, but I think the rev rates are really gonna shine, especially tonight. So we'll see.
Yeah, but
Yep.
Belmo's pretty low, which is wait, where is Belmo?
Low.
Exactly.
Low. Well, he's 16th, I guess.
He's not.
He probably won't get a check
No.
unless he shoots 300 this game.
Hey, you can't get to the Triple Crown by winning the Shawnee.
So, anyways, boys, real quick before we pack it in, I did have a question. Just wanted to ask you guys any more like interesting or funny stories, anything out of pocket that you can bring up from the tour so far this year in the 3 weeks you've been out there.
That I can bring up.
Yeah, anything that you guys are allowed to say.
I mean, I have one off the top of my head. Happened last night.
Let's hear it.
So I've been going to the OKC Thunder games. Went on Monday against the Pelicans. Went last night against the Rockets. I ran out of gas on the way to the basketball game. But
That says you're out of gas.
that's exactly what Ramsey said, and I'm like, yeah, bro, but it said I had 40 miles to empty. But here's the thing. I got all the way to OKC. We've been parking at the Bass Pro Shop and then walking to the stadium. I pulled into the Bass Pro Shop parking lot. Ran out of gas right there. Like, the parking spot is literally 2 feet to my right. I'm like, oh, shit. I hear two guys talking, like, right next to me at their truck. I said, yo, guys, can you help me push my car into the spot? The dude gives me a hard time, too. He says, you know you have a light that tells you you're out of gas. I was like, bro, everybody's giving me a hard time about it. They helped me push my car into the parking spot. I call Ramsey up. Thank God those guys were at the game. And I was like, yo, after the game, can you drive me to the gas station? I'll get a gas can, get some gas. So he helped me. But, yo, every person has given me a hard time, like, yo, you know there's a little light that comes on. I'm like, yeah, but it also says how many miles I have till empty, and it said 40, so.
I've actually had that happen once in my life, T-Rob, so I'll back you on that. I'll give you the benefit of the doubt.
Thank you, bro. It happens. I mean, it's not smart. I should have stopped at the gas station, but it happens.
That's tough.
Yeah, that was just last night, so that's on the top of my head.
And we still got another 2 or 3 months of these stories. Just don't drive off with any of the gas pumps still attached to the car.
Yeah, I've never done that.
That's the Norm strat.
Yeah, Norm's done that. I've also done it once before, but it was I was leaving Vegas at like midnight, like 12:30, and it was just a tough scenes all around. I went inside and told them, The cashier was not happy with me, but I thought it was the better idea than just leaving it.
I'll tell you this: if you want entertainment at a tour stop, go into the paddock at the end of the day, right before they finish bowling. Just watch.
I mean, if that's your form of entertainment, is
I
mental
didn't realize
abuse.
bowling balls could get that high.
Or hit
Or
the ground that hard.
Yeah. You see some pretty cool fries. I won't say who or what, but there's some guys that they fry pretty hard.
The Shawnee paddock's perfect, actually, because it's, like, well off in the back, like, towards the exit
yeah.
door. And it's very
Behind the game.
secluded.
Well,
Yeah.
I was chilling by the end pair watching a couple guys. It's like game 7. And you see a couple guys like running a tote into the paddock. It's like,
Yeah.
well, you're not done bowling yet. What's that tote doing in the paddock?
And then you hear it 30 seconds later.
Bang. Yep.
Oh, dude. I did at the U.S. Open, though. I was standing in the paddock, and I'm not going to say who, but I was, like, chatting with him. He was bowling. He said, hey, take, like, 10 steps back real quick. I was like, what? He said, take 10 steps back. So I did. Then he started slamming his ball on the ground.
Well, hardest to hit all day.
Yeah. Oh, and just at Springfield, I didn't like throw anything, but I did rip the zipper off my bag. Remember we said over under on how many zippers were gonna get ripped?
We
I ripped my zipper, and I think I just left it on the floor. Oh yeah, take the over. No, but then somebody comes up to me like a few days later and said, "Hey, just so you know, I picked up that zipper off the floor."
did. Oh, buddy, you got caught.
I know.
That's
I
tough.
was like, "Thanks, pal."
Let me just put it back on the bag real quick.
Yeah, right.
Dude, I'm gonna need a warranty real quick. I'm gonna need a new bag sent to me.
Dude.
I did put a bowling ball on timeout in the PTQ 2 days ago. Put it on timeout. I missed the head pin for the last time with it. Put it back in the bar and said, "Not today, buddy."
Not today.
Yep.
That's funny.
Better than throwing it, at least.
You might as well give that one away. Give it to a kid or
16,
something.
nobody throws it.
Yeah, a little kid with a 16-pound ball.
That's
There
why
we go.
I can't do it to like a youth league or so. I mean, I can, but it's no juniors throwing
That-
16.
That's another argument for you to throw 15 so you can be more charitable to the kids, man.
I've thought about it.
I demand you as somebody that has more to spread your wealth to those less fortunate.
Oh, if anybody wants a 16-pound bowling ball, like, I got a storage unit full of them back home. Hit me up. Like, you can have it. I don't care. I'll even sign it for you. Make it valuable one day.
There you go.
Or you could go to 14. I don't know if we talked about this, but Bill O'Neill and Tom Darty are throwing 14 now.
Yep.
And they're actually bowling well.
Dude, I must be the black cloud for Bill, because I've watched him throw about 15 shots so far this year between, like, watching his pair and whatnot. I think I've seen him strike once. And then I look up, he's 400 over. I got to be the worst black cloud.
Stay away from him when he's making a run.
Yeah, apparently. And, like, the first 6 times it was all washouts. I'm like, bro, what is he doing? And I look, he has a 5-bagger.
He's nervous.
He
He saw
always,
you
he always
watching.
gets the turnaround, like, oh, come on.
Has to wash out. Well,
No, it's funny.
Being
It's
said-
funny you bring up 14 actually, because I don't think I'm gonna record it, but I do want to bowl like a summer league this year. I'm gonna bowl one-handed with my thumb in, and as much as I want to throw 15, I'm gonna drill 14. I'm gonna do the smart thing. Protect
we
my
go
weak.
one-handed and lower weight.
Yeah, I throw 14. Protect my weak wrist, but I'm gonna have a high rev rate. I'm gonna try and get it up to like 375, 400.
Learn to bowl lefty.
Fuck that. I'm not that talented.
Dude,
Said you
I
need-
know if I bowled lefty, I'd average like an 80.
Yeah, me and T-Rob would be bowling pot games. Whoever bowls 100 wins.
Yeah, it'd be bad.
I don't know why we haven't done, like, opposite hand pot games yet on tour.
Because it would be very bad.
Oh,
I would
mean,
lose.
Yeah, get better. As always, the answer is bowl better.
Always.
Dude,
It all comes full circle.
All comes down
Yeah,
to
you
bowl better.
started it and ended it with bowl better. How about this? You guys bowl lefty. I'll just film for my YouTube channel.
Can I bowl two-handed lefty? I think I have a shot two-handed lefty.
Two-handed lefty, you just want to double cheat, huh?
Yeah, I'm gonna throw a purple hammer too, motherfucker. Triple cheat your
Ah,
ass.
there you go. Yeah.
All right, but boys, enjoy the casino. Get some ice cream for me. No, just don't tell me about it because my FOMO is already pretty bad. But next week, North Rock Lanes, Wichita. You guys got it. Definitely both gonna be bowling in the main field. I'm manifesting that shit right now.
Appreciate it, bro.
Yep. And to our listeners, thank you again for tuning in. Be safe. We will be on next week, and if we aren't, then I need you guys to send hate mail to Trevor and Matt and tell their asses to get on the podcast. So we'll be
That's
here.
true, bro. We've been
Yeah,
slacking.
yeah. We all
Yeah,
have
been slacking.
been, not just them too, but for sure. We'll be here for you guys. So thank you again for listening, and everybody bowl well.
All right, boys. Good talking to you.
Yep. I think Matt's lost in the Matrix right now. He's gonzo. But
Yeah, he's frozen bad.
peace. And then peace out, guys. Later.
See you, Duster.